Welcome to episode 6 of Crafternoon Clash. Today we are breaking out the bingo cards.
Ooh, are we playing Crochet Bingo?
Here we have a list of themes. For each square we will need to find and crochet a free pattern that corresponds to that theme, checking them off one by one until we get bingo.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Fun, but potentially frustrating because there's more. We also have the lose bingo card. Getting bingo on the lose card means instant disqualification. And if that wasn't enough, checking off a square on the lose bingo card means a spin of the penalty wheel before your next round.
Who designed this challenge?
I'm not taking credit for it. I blame you. It's your fault.
I think I had the idea, but I think that you boosted it to a new nightmare level.
So because Complicated Knots and I are so professional, we forgot to record the opening spins for free pattern bingo during our introduction conversation the other day. So we're going to do that now, and then I'm going to send her the results. And there we have it. Spin number 1 for free pattern bingo is Prehistoric Pandemonium. And then we're going to do spin number 2. Here's the thing. I haven't been on Instagram in, it's got to be about a year at this point, and I've spent the last 20 minutes trying to log into my account without much success, so I had to go ahead and make a new account. That information is actually relevant because for this challenge we need to source our patterns from a variety of sources. In fact, one of the squares on the lose bingo card is double dipping, which means using the same website twice in a row. But for our first spin, for free pattern bingo, we did get Prehistoric Pandemonium, and I'm going with the easy option, and I'm just going to crochet myself a dinosaur, and that's probably going to be the theme for the majority of this challenge. I'm going to make it as easy on myself as possible. This is going to include finding, small basic patterns that work up really quickly. Wait for my neighbor's truck to go past, because we have no idea how many of these patterns we're actually going to have to crochet before someone gets bingo. So, Prehistoric Pandemonium, I already have a pattern picked out on my brand sparkling new Instagram account. For all the free patterns you'll see in this video, links will be down in the description, but this one in particular is by Wandering Deer over on Instagram, and it's just an adorable little dino. Look at that face.
So the challenge here is finding free patterns from like a variety of sources instead of just like fishing in one particular pond. And if I'm honest, the real challenge for me is going to be following patterns at all. It's not really my strong suit, even when they're mine, but we're going to do our best. Anyway, I've been told that the first spin was, Prehistoric Pandemonium. So crochet a prehistoric or extinct animal. Now I feel like a pattern that fits that description shouldn't be too hard to find. On my board, I can see that square is being guarded by Torty in the bottom corner. I have no idea if diagonals count in bingo. Leigh has tried to describe the rules of bingo to me like 3 separate times now, but if they do, that's a terrific start for Team Complicated Knots. So I know that Club Crochet recently released a bunch of little dinosaur patterns, so I'm just going to go straight to their website and see if I can find any of them there.
This thing is so cute that it would cause a prehistoric pandemonium, I think. And now that you are complete, you adorable little creature, we will go on and crochet spin number 2. And that spin was Bug Off.
I found this adorable little caterpillar. It looks like it was only released at the time of filming, it was released like a week ago, but by the time this video is actually up and available, it's probably been a couple of months, but still a fairly recent release. I want to make sure I get this name right. So it's Buddy the Caterpillar by Handmade by Avery on Instagram. Again, the link is in the description. So I am going to whip up a little caterpillar really quickly. Wait, how many stitches can I frog before that counts as a square on the loser card?
You won't believe how cute this thing is. Sorry, I had to. But that is spin number 2 complete. What will spin number 3... That was close. What will spin number 3 have in store? Will I be able to make another small pattern, or am I going to be forced to do a much larger project? Well, we will have to wait and see.
Okay, so I've made the caterpillar and I feel like I have to dub myself in here a little bit. I don't think I've hydrated at all today, and I've been filming all day, so I think that's a mark for me on the loser card. I will make sure that I let Leigh know to keep things fair. Guys, you gotta hydrate or dehydrate. You have to. We are water creatures. We are semi-aquatic. We need the hydration. So at this point, we just kind of need to spin the wheel again and see what square number 3 is going to be. I'm low-key hoping for 90s nostalgia, just because I think it could be fun to crochet a scrunchie.
I hear you have some news for me.
Yeah, she's been having difficulties, what can I say? First project went off without a hitch. No big deal. That one was fine, but I have to dob myself in about, you know, the loser card that we have, or the lose card. Well, I should have read the conditions before I started this. Before I started this challenge. I got dehydrated. I didn't drink any water all day, and I thought that was the only square I was going to have to cop to here.
Oh, you got more than one. Oh no.
All right, so I chose a lovely pattern, and then I realized that the pattern technically called for a 4mm hook, and I used my 3.25mm hook. So that's my second square. I realized that...
There's more than 2. Okay, I did not expect this.
I realized that the pattern referred to a specific type of yarn, and I definitely used my normal 4 Seasons marble without even giving it a second thought or thinking about asking for an exception. I realized that I used... I know.
Oh.
I used a puff stitch instead of the 5DC bobble clustered thing that the thing was asking for, because I didn't know what it was. I thought, oh, no big deal, I'll just substitute it in, right?
Wait, please don't tell me you've already been disqualified after round 2.
I haven't. By some miracle, I haven't. I was forced to frog an entire row because I lost count of my stitches at some point.
Oh,
so
no.
That's 2 more.
That's like half the lose bingo card.
I know, I was going for the Super Bowl, and I'm just really hoping that you'll give me an out and let me not do the adjusted the pattern one, because technically he's meant to be 5 different colours, not 2 that I just alternated.
I am more than happy to give you a pass on that one. You had it rough, so and that was one pattern.
And sorry, I do just want to say, just because I like to be fair here, none of this was the fault of this designer. This was all me.
Yeah, you got so many. I think you just spin the penalty wheel once. I think that's fair. Like, I'm not going to make you spin it, 5, 6 times.
I can't spin it that many times.
No, I think that's... Imagine if you had to, crochet blindfolded, left-handed, with a hat on, using a 2mm hook and size 6 yarn or something. Just no, I would not do that to you.
So yeah, I'm just gonna have to be super careful from this point forward, not to do anything else wrong.
And we're gonna do 2 spins again. Depending on how close we get to bingo this time, we may proceed with 1 spin from here on out, or 2. We're just gonna play it by ear. So let's spin for our next challenge, and we have...
I'm kind of hoping for 90s nostalgia. I think that one could be fun.
Well, unfortunately for you, we got yarn down under, so I'm pretty sure we have to make some sort of Australian pattern, and then we'll do the second spin of today, and that one is going to be... Another one I wasn't really hoping for, behind the name. If I can just give you a little tiny suggestion, maybe read the loose card before you start this time. I don't want you spinning the penalty wheel every time. Fired. That's just not fair.
To the heart. I mean, you're not wrong.
Bingo square number 3. Let's go. This time we have yarn down under, which means I'm going to have to find myself an Australian themed free pattern. Well, there's some free Aussie animal patterns, but they belong to Complicated Knots. And oh look, there's one of mine. But I can't use them because otherwise I will check off a square on the penalty card. And maybe I should do that. I feel a bit bad for Complicated Knots. She had to cross off so many after the last 2 spins. Well, here we go. This one might serve my purposes. Crochet Wombat tutorial by Crochet Critters. Let's give this a look-see.
Okay, so Leigh has very graciously allowed me to get away with spinning the wheel just once instead of all of those times, and you guys are going to have to help me stay on top of what these challenges are, because I can't flunk out on this challenge. Can't happen. So let's spin the wheel and just hope it's a nice easy one. Okay, I can work with that. One colour only. That's honestly probably the best I could have hoped for. Oh, okay. So it's one colour only and an Australian animal. That should be easy.
The next square that I'm going to attempt is behind the name. This one is a little bit convoluted, mostly because when I was coming up with these challenge bingo suggestions, I was running out of ideas. But we're going to head to a website called Behind the Name. What we want to do is head down to the random name generator. Whatever name spits out, we're going to take the first letter and find a pattern that also begins with that letter. For example, if I hit the random name generator, I'm not going to worry about any of the filters. I'm just going to go generate a name, and our name is Marin Cassia, if that's how you pronounce it. But I just need to find a pattern that starts with M, which should be easy to do, but I'm sitting here thinking, what starts with M that I can crochet? I feel very put on the spot. I can't think of any animals that start with M off the top of my head. Macaw could be one. M.
Found the random name button down the bottom there. So we're going to click this and see what name we have to work with. Ooh, and there's a lot of other settings that we can play with as well. So we can set it to like a mythology name or a whimsical name, a fantasy name. I'm thinking, let's go with like a mythology or a whimsical name. I like that idea. Oh, maybe, you know what? Maybe ancient, maybe fantasy as well. Arthurian. No, okay. So I've picked mythology, whimsical, ancient, or fantasy. And we are generating a life story just because I think that'd be funny. Here we go. Flan. Okay, so Flan is an elderly adult, 66, died of a stroke. That is bleak. But okay, let's just focus on Flan as the name, shall we? So now I need to take the letter F and find a pattern that starts with F.
It is time for free pattern bingo spins 5 and 6. I'm flying solo here today, so we're just going to dive straight in and spin. And spin number 5 is... Ooh, that was close. Pin the tail on the donkey. And then spin number 6 will be... Fantastical Fantasy.
So spin number 5, right? It's pin the tail on the donkey, and I'm gonna have to look up what that means. With your eyes closed, scroll and point to a random pattern, crochet whatever you point to. Can't say I love that, but I think the time has finally come to hit up Ravelry, because I can set all of like the filters up to not cause me problems. Okay, well, we want something like this big, all right? If it's any bigger than this, we're going to have problems.
All right, bingo spin 5. Bingo spin 5, here we go. I wish I hadn't used up Ravelry on my last spin, because the grid format that they use to lay out their patterns would have worked really well in this situation. And I mean, I could go ahead and do it anyway, but then I would have to spin the penalty wheel again next round. And I already have to do it this round due to what happened in the previous spins. I would really like to keep my penalty wheel spins to a minimum if I can.
I think I'm at the top of the screen. And we'll like wiggle the mouse around.
Where am I going to go?
It looked like that was the Amigurumi Bunny Miffy.
So I screwed up. I was supposed to spin the penalty wheel, but no, apparently I just skipped that one straight into the pattern. Look, I've only crocheted 3 rounds, so depending on what penalty I get, I can undo those and then recrochet them. Thus giving myself another penalty spin next round because frogging is one of our square cards, so I don't know if it counts if I've already crossed that off. You're not going to believe this, but I landed on no penalty. Oh, that makes me immediately suspicious because my luck is never that good. Okay, we carry on as normal. No penalty for me. But I am sus. I'm sus. Something's got to go wrong. It's got to balance out somehow.
I've just received word that spin number 6 is Fantastical Fantasy. And I already know exactly what I want to make for this one here because it's something that has been on like kind of my to-do list for a little while now.
I think I might be spoiled for choice with this one because there's no shortage of dragon patterns, unicorn patterns, probably griffin patterns too, and I'm probably going to go with one of those, just something nice and simple. So we have finished spins 5 and 6 for our free pattern bingo. At this stage, I'm gonna have to spin the penalty wheel again. What about you? Do you need to spin it?
No, I've been very good. I actually read the rules and then followed them.
I read the rules, it just didn't do me any good apparently. So I'm going to spin that on my own time. But before I do that, we do need to do spins 7 and 8. Now, I hear a rumour that you're close to bingo.
It's funny, I heard a similar rumour about you.
I wonder who's spreading all these rumours. But yes, that is true.
Little birds spreading all the rumours.
But yeah, I am close to bingo as well. So one of us may get bingo on this spin, but you'll just have to keep watching to find out. So if I head on to the wheel. All right. Do you know what you're hoping for? Because I certainly don't. I don't remember. But I'm going to spin for our first one.
I'll check it later. It'll be fine.
And we have... less than 100 stitches. But anyway, I'm going to spin for number 8 now, and that is going to be... Oh, I should have removed that, but didn't. Never mind. And we have colour coordination for spin number 8. Real talk, guys, this bingo square is going to be my cop-out square. I am fully prepared to spin the penalty wheel for my next turn. The reason I'm doing this is rather than spending however much time it takes to find a free pattern that is under 100 stitches, I am just going to crochet one that I need to use in another project. I have been crocheting bloody butterflies for months now. I mean, it's been literal months. This pattern that I made for this particular project is, I think it's around 42 stitches, so it definitely falls under that 100 stitch threshold. And I do this knowing full well that one of the loose bingo squares is used our own patterns, but like I just got to get these butterflies done. I just got to get them done. I'm so sick of looking at butterflies.
Spin number 7 is less than 100 stitches. And the only thing I can really think to do here is to Google it and scroll until we see something that looks like it might be small enough. So, crochet patterns with less than stitches. And I'm feeling pretty promising about this one just looking at it. I don't want to like pre-count the stitches or anything, but it says it can be done in 10 minutes. It's looking really little. I think this one here might be the winner. We have spin number 8, which is color coordination. The rule for this one here is we have to crochet a pattern that includes whatever color we land on. So what that means is I have a wheel to spin. So here we go. I can't see any of these colors being any more easy or difficult than any of the other colors. So here we go. I totally thought that was pink. But blue is going to be easy. I mean, pink was going to be easy too, but blue isn't too bad.
Time for, what are we on, spin number 8. Before I do absolutely anything else, I must spin the penalty wheel because I forgot to do that last time. And I don't want a repeat of that. What will my penalty be this time? Use wrong hook size. Well, that's easy enough. As far as penalties go, that's not too bad. Okay, now that I've spun one wheel, I will now have to spin another. My assigned colour is going to be... something just a little bit different for me. Blue.
So with spin 8 done, I still don't have bingo. I'm one square off in a couple of different like lines, but I'm still not there yet.
Little blue fly complete. You can go sit over there with your mates. And now I need to check off my 8th bingo. My 8th and final bingo square because I have bingo. Bingo! I knew I was close to bingo after the last round, but I couldn't remember which squares I needed to get. Turns out it was colour coordination, or one of them was colour coordination. However, I don't know if that means I've technically won the challenge overall, because at this stage, I'm not sure what ComplicatedKnots is rocking on her bingo card. So we're going to have to wait to find out. Bingo spin 8 is complete. How did you do?
I've done it. I'm getting close to, I'm getting pretty close to bingo. I've got like 2 or 3 lines that are almost there. I think with maybe one more spin.
Well, I have a little bit of news. I don't think we're going to need to do another spin because I got bingo. I got bingo.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. What was colour coordination, which was this thing. That tipped me over the edge. So yes, I have officially got bingo.
Did you have a favourite of the things that you made?
Oh, probably, if I have to pick one, I made a manatee. This thing was pretty cute. What about you? What was your favourite one?
Oh, I'm hard pressed between 3 of them. But
the struggle is real.
The struggle is real because I have to honourable mention the fact that I did end up making your little griffin. It would just be remiss of me not to bring that up. Loved that little guy. But I think this might be my favourite. It's an F-bomb. Yeah, I found some great patterns throughout the course of this, and I believe we're putting them all in the description.
Yep,
for
so
people
for
if they want to make them
all
too.
the patterns here, they will be linked down in the description so you can check them out if you want to. I have to admit that my spin 7 was a little bit of a cop-out because that was the less than 100 stitches, and you know the project I'm working on which needs like 1,000 butterflies? I crocheted one of those.
Yep.
Like I'm just going to admit that. A complete cop-out, but I'm so sick of crocheting butterflies, but I have to get over it, so I thought, I'll use this opportunity to crochet one more.
I found this little guy. He was 85
Oh
or
my
86
God.
stitches. Sorry, I'll hold him up to the camera for you.
Oh my God.
There is nothing to him, but he is so cute. Anyway, I'm really glad that you got Bingo, because if I got Bingo, I was going to have to disqualify myself, I think, because at a certain point, I just stopped paying any attention to the recommended yarn in the patterns, because I never had it, or it was always a brand I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Or like, I just didn't feel like using that kind of yarn that day. And so it's just like the number of times I'm just like, I should be disqualified for this.
No, I think
It got worse.
I think if we check off a blue square once, I think it just should stay checked off. Like, we don't have to recheck it off. It's fine. But yeah, I ran into that
it's
problem
done.
too. Especially if they recommended like American yarns that we just don't have or can't get our hands on. Yeah, I liked the patterns that they just listed a generic yarn. I was like worsted weight yarn or DK weight yarn or plush yarn without a specific brand. They were very handy. And that brings a close to Crochet Bingo. This is the...
Congratulations on your win.
Oh, thank you. I can't say I really didn't do much to earn the win, but it was the luck of the card.
You made 8 projects, okay? You earned that win.
Yeah, but then so did you. And one of mine was a cop-out too, so... That one was a bit of a slog, wasn't it? I am beginning to develop an aversion to the penalty wheel. But what I'm not developing an aversion to is... And today's feature creator on the hookup is Arts and Arthropods. That's a really cool name. And she says, I started crocheting in December 2023. I fell in love with the idea of manipulating yarn into cute plushies. I now have an Etsy and YouTube channel. I chose the name Arts and Arthropods because of my love of arts and crafts. Also, I have 3 tarantulas, 2 jumping spiders, and a ball python. Oh, that is really cool. I think you could probably tell I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for spiders, as odd as some people find that. But I've always wanted a python as a pet as well. I really like diamond pythons. But enough rambling from me. If you would like to go and check out Arts and Arthropods YouTube channel or other links, they will be down in the description. So will a link to the hookup form if you would like to apply for that for yourself. I don't know what more to say about Crochet Bingo. This was one of those projects when ComplicatedKnots and I were sort of developing the series that we knew could either be fairly short or go on for ages. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Consider subscribing to both channels if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share it if you think it's worth sharing, and we will see you in the next one.